Welcome to our webinar. My name is Corey Pritchard. I will be your host. This is a part of a series that we've been doing here with TRuAlternatives. One has been on truth, again, giving insight and direction about how we, gauge or test truth and making sure that in the area of faith, if you need some direction or if you would like just some insight or just for the sake of dialogue or argument or whatever it is, whatever purposes you could use it for. We put together what I believe to be a powerful webinar based on truth. So if you have not seen that, then make sure you get in contact with us and we can make sure we get you the information for that webinar. But if you've seen that, we haven't heard feedback from you about that. Just love to hear your feedback about that webinar. The other webinar that we did was just an overview of our company, just letting you know exactly what our mission is, exactly what service and benefits that we offer, and what it is that we do. So those webinars, I believe, both are around an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So this is the third segment of that series of webinars that we've been doing. In this one, we'll give you 5 life-changing principles, principles that I have lived by myself, and they are bringing fruits definitely to my life right now. But throughout time and throughout my life, I think people will see exactly what's going to come out of that. And if you decide not to practice them until those things happen in my life, then that's fine. But I suggest that you put those things in practice so that we can travel along the way and support each other and be able to help each other along the way. So what we'll do with this call is I will tell you or give you a story that I believe is a powerful story. It's been beneficial to me. Then I will make sure we get into those 5 principles. Won't take a ton of time to get into those principles. And then I'm going to make a few suggestions for some music that has been helpful to me and that I suggest that you take a listen to, and some recommendations as far as that goes. So after the call, then I suggest that you can feel free to reach out to me, give me your opinion about what you saw here with this call. But definitely make sure that you check out the other webinars that we have and give me your feedback about those webinars. So the goal is that we are not trying to create a following. We're not trying to do that. Just want to make sure we're obedient about what the task that we've been given. And this is one of the tasks that we have, is to promote truth. And we are adamant. We don't move off of truth. So we want to make sure we do that. And we promote everything on principles based on Romans 10. So if you see a logo anywhere with the Roman helmet and you see the swords crossed in like the Roman numeral X, everything that we do is based on the principles or things found in Romans, the book of Romans in the Bible, canonized Bible, Romans chapter 10. So you can check that out. And again, I'm always open for dialogue. So if you want to refute the things that are there, if you just have questions about how we're using the principles found in Romans 10, then we're always open to a conversation about those things. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move right along in our call here. We're not going to take a ton of time. So our call is going to begin with a story. This is an ancient story, and it may be a familiar text or story for you, and this may be completely new for you, but either way, I hope that it will be a treat for you. So our story begins thousands of years ago in the Middle Eastern part of the world. There was a middle-aged man who worked for a great and powerful master, the most powerful in the world. His job was to deliver high-priority messages to people that served less powerful masters in hopes that the recipient would turn to serve the master. The master was kind and forgiving, but he was also fair and just when it came to disobedience. The messenger had no problem delivering messages to his people, for people that look like him, talk like him, and those who served his master in the past. But one day, the master gave the messenger an assignment to deliver a high priority message to a whole city of strange and foreign people. This message would allow them the opportunity to serve the great master and receive forgiveness for the bad things they had done during the time they served other masters. The messenger was reluctant because he did not believe This vast foreign city deserved the opportunity to receive forgiveness. So he did what any honest, obedient, sensible servant would have done. He ran. The servant ran and hid in the bottom of a ship that was headed in the opposite direction of the assigned destination. To make a long story short, the man was thrown into the sea during a huge storm. He was the first documented traveler in the earliest model submarine, the stomach of a massive fish. After asking for his master's forgiveness, he ended up on the shore, either from the entrance or the exit of the fish, but happy to be alive. He walked to the great city of foreigners. He spoke less than 10 words to the entire city, and they turned and asked for forgiveness from the master, and they turned to serve him. So just an incredible story. Again, one that you may have heard before, and if you have not, that's fine. But you can find that Bible, not that Bible, you can find that story, obviously in the Bible, if you'd like to look that up. And if you've already, read that before, then revisit it because it's an incredible story. What I'll do is I'll show you a few things, illustrations I thought were really neat. When I was actually putting that story together. The goal for that is that I wanted to make sure that I depicted that in a way that anybody could receive it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then I'll get into the principles that we talked about. And these principles, again, you don't have to put them into practice. If you choose not to, that's absolutely fine. But again, this is the Roman helmet that I told you about with the cross sword. So if you see this, or when you see this logo anywhere, whether it's in a store or on a website or whatever it is, just know that it has our approval, and then it's something that you can put your trust in. So TRuAlternatives, based on Romans 10, and our goal is to empower you through faith, fitness, and finance. And what we are is a complete wellness consulting company. So we want to make sure that we empower you. And the reason why we do that is we want to make sure we build trust, okay? We build trust with you. And the way that we do that is making sure that we offer solutions. These solutions offer you reduced anxiety, stress, and tension. There are tons of people in America today at increasing rates are taking antidepressants that are plagued or addicted to all kinds of drugs and alcohol and just going to all kinds of stuff in order to deal with stress and anxiety. So we want to make sure that we offer some solutions to help you deal with that in a healthy way. The most important thing is that we offer quality of life, okay, and peace of mind for people. And that's not just for the aging community. That's also for younger people, people that are looking for quality of life and peace of mind. So we are just excited about that. But here's a illustration of of our gentleman from the story. You can see obviously the city that he was supposed to be going to or traveling to was the city of Nineveh, which was a great and powerful city. It was actually a trade city, so people that were there because of the vast amount of trading opportunities they had at the time. This was one of the biggest and greatest city of its time. Really, up until that point, it was the biggest city in history. Up until that point, it's just a great city. And this gentleman was a messenger or a prophet of God, and just decided that, basically, I didn't like the people. I don't like what they stand for. I'm not sure what they did to him, but based on the instruction that he was given, which was to go as a prophet of God to do what he was supposed to do, he just decided, not going to do it. So he decided to walk in the opposite direction that his master had given him direction to go in. So this is a funny picture. I thought was very, I guess, funny. Is exactly what I said. You see a huge fish. Don't even know what the fish was. It could have been a whale. It could have been anything. But whatever it was a fish that was large enough that when he was thrown into the water and near his death, the fish swallowed him up, and he was in the belly of the fish. So the fish had to be a big fish. So I thought that was neat. And then the story, as you are reading through the story for yourself, it doesn't say exactly how he made it out of the fish, so I thought that for myself was interesting because I don't know if he was thrown up out of the fish, or if he ended up out of the other side of the fish. But either way, he was excited after he said, to his master, "Please forgive me. Whatever I gotta do, I'll do it." And then he ended up on the shore of the city, and he walked to the city. So it's a crazy stuff. Another part of the story I thought was interesting is that if you read it for yourself, is not only did the king, the rulers of the city turn to this master, but also the animals that were in the city. It was just an amazing story of humble hearts. So just thought this picture was a wonderful picture of even animals had sense enough to serve a worthy master. Sometimes humans are not. So I thought that was also interesting. So what we're going to do is get into 5 principles. So I advise you at this point, if you need to go ahead and pause the webinar. Great thing about a webinar is it gives you the opportunity to watch some now, maybe watch some later. You can pause it, and go and get a drink of water, use the bathroom, grab a pen and a pad, take notes, whatever you got to do, and you can get back into the information. So it allows you a tremendous amount of flexibility. So I just want to make sure that you do that. So this is a great time to make sure you pause. I advise you to take down these notes so that you know exactly what you're practicing. You take them exactly the way I'm giving them, because it's very specific. Okay. So the moral of the story that we talked about. The first thing is truth needs no explanation. So if it is the truth, then if you just share it, then you let the truth take care of itself. It doesn't need any explanation. Okay. The second thing is the seed will grow if the ground is fertile. Obviously, this gentleman went to the city, spoke less than 10 words. The complete city turned and served this man. There's another story in that great book that talks about 2 cities that were living just terrible. I mean, so much evil in the city that God decided he was going to destroy the city if he couldn't find a certain amount of just and righteous people in the city. Now, these people had more of an opportunity. They actually had angels that came to that city, and rather than try to figure out what was going on that was so severe that God would send angels to the city, is that they decided that they wanted to do some pretty bad stuff to those angels. I'm not going to say exactly what they wanted to do to them, but I advise you to go check out those stories. And that story is found in the book of Genesis, and those cities were Sodom and Gomorrah. So not sure where you are as far as the Bible goes. I know that there are many religions that will pick up the Old Testament of the Bible, and they will believe that. I know the Jewish belief, they believe the Torah, and also Muslims, you also believe in Abraham and believe in some of the older writings, but you don't believe in the rest of the Bible as far as the canonized Bible. So these stories are all found in the Old Testament. So I advise you to revisit or visit for the first time those stories for yourself if you've never read them before, because they're incredible stories. So if the seed will grow if the ground is fertile. So the hearts of the people, it was fertile. The people were ready to receive truth. So they didn't take much for them to turn to the truth. So I thought that was incredible. So just remember that as you're sharing truth with other people. Don't be discouraged for people that will not receive the truth that you're bringing to them. Just understand, when you find fertile ground, is that the seed will grow. So just be excited for that. Do not wait for something extreme to happen to complete your assignment. For me, I decided I don't need anything extreme to happen for me to complete the assignment that was set before me. So I encourage you to do the same. You have a certain set of talents, abilities, skills that you have come into this world with. There was a book that was written called Rich Kid, Smart Kid, and don't pay any attention to the title, but the most important thing I got out of that book is that every person, no matter who they are, is that they have a certain amount of genius. So they're a genius in a certain area of their life. The only problem is that when we go into a traditional school system or setting, is that those things are not celebrated, they are not cultivated, they are not harvested. So many people go away from education believing that they're stupid, believing that they don't have anything to offer to the world, and that's not the truth. And that lines right up with everything as far as the truth, as it's laid out in the Bible, or if you believe that or not. But it's as far as truth, as far as people go, is that we have certain skills, talents, abilities that we have. Now, the great thing is that if we will submit to those things and we will allow them to be cultivated and sharpened, is that we can offer great benefit to the world. But the adverse or the negative part of that is that if we don't try to cultivate those things and recognize that we have them, and more or less heed to our call to greatness, then we ended up with a low self-confidence. We end up, looking at ourselves in a bad way, and we end up being very negative and pessimistic as it concerns life, because we're running away from the calling that we have, for our own life, and we're not adding the great benefit that we have. So we have this huge void that's going unfilled in our lives. So we try to fill it with a bunch of crud and a bunch of bad stuff that doesn't do us any good. So that's the moral of the story. So let's get into our principles again. Let's go ahead and write these down. Here's your first principle. Adopt Gardner thinking. Television has caused a majority of our culture to become present hedonistic, which means immediate pleasure and pain are the only thing that really matter and drive every decision. Prolonged gratification is an unfathomable thought, okay? Cell phones, internet, fast food, and news media reinforce this belief. Our personal view of time will determine the decisions that we make. I encourage you to think like a gardener. Practice delayed gratification and reduce the time you spend with anything that reinforces making major decisions based on immediate pleasure and gain. So what we have is a weapon that's used against us more often than we believe, which is time. So based on the way that we view time, is that will drive everything in our lives. So if we are a believer priest in Jesus Christ, or whatever faith that you have, if you're believing in God, and we're asking, for God, and we're asking for something to happen in our lives, and it doesn't happen immediately, okay? It doesn't happen today. It doesn't happen at that very moment. Then based on the way that we view time, okay, based on the way that we operate in every area of our lives, okay, if we have a remote control, we press play, or to change the channel, it happens immediately. If we pick up our cell phone, we have immediate access to the person that we want to have access to, okay? If we put our food in the microwave, then it's warmed up immediately. We don't have to wait. If we go to the fast food restaurant, and we pull up to the drive-thru, we can have our food immediately. Everything in our culture and everything that we have, even the television shows that we have, are built for immediate gratification and indulgence. Is that if we are making our lives like that, and then we're asking God to fit into our view of time, then we set ourselves up for failure. We set ourselves up for doubt, and we leave room for doubt and unbelief. So again, this is just a suggestion, okay? You don't do these things if you don't want to, but if you're looking for something, improvement in the area of quality of life, if you're looking for truth, okay, then I'm telling you, this is the truth. So I advise you to adopt Gardner thinking, okay? Our next principle, serve up humble pie. That's our next principle. Realize we are microscopic in size compared to the architect of all. Also realize that your and my problems are already fully aware of their microscopic size in comparison to him. So make him top priority and let him handle the rest. So what we do is that we build ourselves up to make ourselves feel better and believe that we're bigger than we truly are. And the next thing we do is we are faced or come to a problem or obstacle or barrier that we build up and make it seem like it's bigger than it really is. The great thing is, and the mighty thing is that if we realize that God, okay, there is a God that's bigger than us, okay, and there is a God that is bigger than our problem, is that everything lines up. Here's the thing, is that we make sure that we keep him first as what he asks for. If we do that, okay, then the rest of our lives will take care of itself, because he will fight our battles and he will take care of those things. But we have to serve up humble pie. Our next principle, write down word power. The heart is the storehouse of good and evil. We live exactly as we say. Our words reveal the condition of our heart. We are or what our words reveal. And let me make sure I say this right again. I apologize. What are your words revealing about who you or I truly am? That's the question. What are your words saying about you? Words are extremely powerful. They can be used to build or demolish, love or hate, give life or sentence one to death, including our own. So be very conscious and aware of the words that you use, okay? And I have to be very conscious of the words that I use. Now, this is the great thing about words, is I can use them to build a person up. I can use them to encourage and speak life into a person. So that's what I encourage that we do. So if we haven't been using words in a positive way up until this point, I encourage you to make sure that we realize the power of our words and use them to speak life. Use them to encourage people. Just imagine for yourself, how great does it feel when someone takes notice of you? What benefit does it add for you when someone speaks words of encouragement to you and tells you what you're doing is great? Everyone looks for validation and confirmation, whether we want to believe it or agree with it or not. We're looking for validation and confirmation. So believe that you can change the world today, even if you don't have much money, even if you don't have many resources, is that every single one of us, okay, I'd say about 99.9% of people, okay, have words that we can use. So we have to make sure that we use them to speak life. Use them to speak encouragement, okay? Use them to lift people up and build them up. So realize word power and how powerful words are. Our next principle is remove the pebble from my hand. Now, when I thought about the title of this, I thought about a great master, okay, like a samurai or a master of martial arts that has students, and he sticks his hand out with this pebble in his hand. He says, "Remove the pebble from my hand," and he's expecting them to have a quick sleight of hand to remove the pebble. And I think that we play this game many times with God, and we want something to come into our hand, but yet still we don't want to give away the little bit that we have in our hand and realize that there's so much more that's out there that can come in, more or less than a little bit that can go out. So here's the principle. This is the principle of giving. Whatever you desire in life, then give it away. If you want more love, respect, honor, kindness, mercy, encouragement, money, time, rejection, pain, brokenness, whatever it is that you give away will be given back to you in the amount that you gave it. If that's sparingly or lavishly. So whatever it is that you want, give it away. And give it away in the amount or the proportion that you would like to receive it. This is our last principle. Last principle is guard your tank. The eye is the window to the soul. The eye is the window to the soul. Would a person fill up the tank of their brand new car with garbage or toxins? I don't believe they would. Like sugar, bleach, and dirt. Then jump in that same car and expect to reach their destination. Guard what is put in front of your eyes and the words that enter your ears. Television, music, media, and other people that surround you. Just realize that people that surround you have words that affect your life. Remember, either they are speaking life into you or they are sentencing you to death. Okay, so be careful about the words of people that are around you, and guard your tank. Guard the things that you watch, and guard the things that come into your ear. Okay, that was our final principle. So this is what I suggest. I suggest that you take these principles and you put them to action for 21 days. Okay, now if you're going to do that, as you're putting these 5 principles in place, I suggest that you make sure that you're removing negativity out of your life. Of course, the last principle says guard your tank. Okay, so make sure that you're not watching a bunch of negative news, media, television shows, a bunch of crazy music, a bunch of that stuff. You're not doing that, and you're making sure that you are putting these principles into action. As you're putting these principles into action over the next couple of weeks, what I'd like for you to do is I would like for you to make sure that you allow us to hear from you and give us your feedback as to how that's benefiting your life. And if it's not doing anything, that's fine. Then make sure that you send us your feedback just to let us know what they're doing for you, okay? So what we're going to do is end our call today by giving you a few suggestions of some things that have really been beneficial to me and have really blessed me. So you don't have to put these things into practice. But then, since I'm asking you to guard your tank, I'm asking you to move away from some things. I don't want to take things away from you and then not give you good things. So we want to make sure that we're adding good things. So these are some artists that I highly recommend that you take a listen to during this time where you are trying to add some more quality and benefit to your life, and you're seeking truth. The first gentleman is, if you like soul music, alternative music, if you like R&B music, I highly suggest you look this gentleman up. His name is Mali, M-A-L-I, Music. Okay, let's see here. Okay, just want to make sure that I make it so you can see all this information. So this gentleman's name is Mali Music, is what his name is, and the CD that I suggest you listen to is The Second Coming. Just an incredible CD. You can go to Amazon and you can actually sample this album. I'm not getting anything out of this. I don't care where you get the album from. Just want to make sure that it adds benefit to your life. You can go here and sample it. You can purchase it or listen to it on iTunes or wherever you get your music from. I think Google has Google Play now that you can pull some information and music up on Buy Music. But nevertheless, make sure that you check out this gentleman, Mali Music. He has some incredible music. So that's my first suggestion. Another suggestion I'm going to make here, if you like contemporary music, if you like maybe alternative music, maybe something a little more smooth, this gentleman's name is Chris Sly. You may have seen him on I'm sorry, it's funny. I just forgot what the heck it is, but I'll come back to that. But you see him on television. He was actually performing and went to one of those competitions they have on television for singers. He actually made it as one of the finalists, and since then he has been a very successful Christian, I guess, artist. I'm not gonna say gospel, but he makes good, truthful music is what he makes. I can't really put him in a box, but highly suggest because of his voice, because of the words of the songs, because of the quality of music. American Idol, sorry, was the name of the show that he was on. Highly suggest that you get this album here. It's Running Back to You, just an incredible CD. Again, the same thing, sample some stuff here. You can go iTunes, get it wherever you want to get it at. I don't get anything out of this. I don't want anything out of it. Just want to make sure that you have some things that will benefit you, and just incredible music here. So definitely get that CD. Here's another recommendation that I will make. This gentleman has blessed my wife and I for years with his music. So I suggest that you go out and you check out Fred Hammond. So no matter what type of music that you listen to, I would highly suggest Fred Hammond, because the quality of music, the variety of the music that he has. He's mostly a gospel, I guess, artist, but don't let that limit, I guess, your thinking to allow you to stop you from listening to the music. So check him out. This is the album that I would recommend. First of all, Love Unstoppable. Every album that he's ever put out that I've listened to have all been incredible, but this is my absolute favorite. So definitely listen to that. I also love this title here, which he only appears on, I believe, 2 of the songs. I think he produced the CD. And this is Life in the Word, which is an incredible CD. So just take a listen to that. This is his latest CD, United Tenors. I haven't heard anything about it, or I haven't heard any of it, but I've heard that it's a great CD also. So I just suggest that you put him into your rotation. check him out. Just a wonderful CD, wonderful artist that will bless your life. And again, all these suggestions that I'm going to make to you are all truth-based artists. So you may call them Christian artists, you may call them gospel artists, but I believe that they speak truth. And this is the thing that I would say for you as a listener. Uh, your music and the music that you listen to should be an illustration, okay, of what your morals are, an illustration of what your beliefs are. And you should not, or I should not, let the music that we listen to dictate what my beliefs are. So that's the reason why I suggest truth-based music. So I'm not sure how many people want the corruption, the destruction, and all the bad stuff that comes out of some of the music that's promoted on the television and also on the radio and over the internet, which talks about drugs, alcohol, and all kind of brokenness. So if you want that in your life, and that's exactly the way that you're living, and you want your life to continue in that direction, then continue to listen to what you're listening to. But if you want good things to come out of your life, and you want to have more benefit, and most importantly, if you want your children to be able to have those benefits, and your grandchildren to have those benefits, then that we start to make some changes in your life. Okay. So here's some other suggestions, just two more suggestions that I'll make. And you feel free to reach out to me again on Facebook at any point. You can reach out to me on any of the avenues. Send me an email, telephone number, whatever. I'll give you that to conclude the call. But this is a gentleman. If you like hip hop, if you like rap, then I suggest that you go on maybe a 7-day fast. So maybe 21 days is too long for you. Maybe you take 7 days and you decide that you're going to just pause or put that music that you've been listening to the side just for a few days. Do not intermingle this music with the music that you've been traditionally listening to. And the reason why is that it will dumb down or dull down the quality and the way that you will be able to appreciate this music. Because what will happen is you will try to take your own or your old perception or expectations that you have for your normal music, and you will put that on this music, okay? This music is very high quality. Yes, it has great value as far as what you would get as far as entertainment, but that is not the reason why these artists put this music out. They put it out, again, to share truth. And what you'll find that when you start listening to that without being able to be distracted by other music, is that you'll be able to hear the word that will speak truth into your life, and it will add benefit to your life, okay, and you will truly be able to appreciate that. Now, after the 7 days, if you decide that you want to go back into, to listen to the music that you've been listening to, that's fine, but at least you've given yourself a fair chance to be able to listen to some truthful music. So this artist's name is TRuAlternatives. The great thing is if you go to YouTube, if you type in TRuAlternatives, The Good Life, you'll be able to listen to the full album of this artist. Just crazy stuff. Stuff I never heard before, where people will put their entire album out on public record so people can listen to it, evaluate it, and then decide if they're going to buy the album. So this is an incredible CD. Again, it's called The Good Life. I suggest that you go in and take a listen to that, okay? This last artist that I'm going to suggest is one that you may have heard of. Again, if you listen to Christian, not even Christian, if you listen to hip-hop, or if you listen to rap, if you like that type of music, then I suggest you, again, take 7 days, listen to these artists. This is an artist named Lecrae. His name is Lecrea. His latest album is an album called Gravity. Again, he went the same concept. These albums people are put out by Reach Records. So you go out and you type in Gravity, and you can listen to the full CD. He actually won an award, or many awards actually, for this CD, which is the latest album. So go out, listen to that. Again, don't mess yourself up by listening to other music while you're listening to this. Just give it a full evaluation so that you can see exactly what that does for your life. Another album that I recommend that he did, this is also available, the full version is available on YouTube, is called Rehab. This is one of his older albums, but an incredible album. I suggest that you listen to it. The great thing about all this music is that you can listen to it with your family. So you don't have to worry about pressing pause or getting some edited version of the songs or anything like that. I have a 2-year-old son. He knows most of these songs, by heart. He can dance to them. He loves them. I can play them in my car. I can play them at church if I want to. I can play them anywhere I want to. I don't have to try to wear one hat and then take the hat off and then try to be another person somewhere else. This is who I am, and it's all truth based. It's all music that adds life and speaks life into me and to my family. So we love it. And the last one that's there is Church Clothes. Just highly recommend that you take a listen to that. That was a mixtape that he did a while ago before he actually put out his Gravity CD. And again, that's available in its entirety, absolutely free on YouTube. So the great thing is, if you don't like it, you didn't pay anything. But I guarantee if you listen to these albums and you don't mix it with other stuff that you've been listening to, and you just really give it a true evaluation, you'll find that the quality of the music that these guys are putting out is like none other. You can't compare it to anybody else, because not only are they giving you the quality of beats, the quality of the words that they use, but they're putting so much truth into their music, and there's no way to really have a comparison about what they're doing as far as what they're doing in music. So I guess to end our call, the last way we'll end is making sure that you know how to get in contact with me if you would like to. If you like to, give me a good chewing out after listening to these webinars, and you're a person that's maybe of a different faith or of a different, belief or a different opinion, then you feel free to do that. I'm open to that. You can actually feel free to call me. You can call me directly. Write down my telephone number is 502-408-2276. Again, that's 502-408-2276. I'm actually here in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm actually filming this or recording this from Ohio. But feel free to reach out to me at any point. You can also email me at info@TRuAlternatives with an S .us. Again, that's info, INFO, at Tru, TRU, and then the word alternatives with an S .us. You feel free to email me. Most people do Facebook, so you can reach out to me on Facebook. Here's my name, Corey Pritchard, spelled exactly that way. Reach out to me on Facebook, or you can reach out to me on Twitter or LinkedIn. My profile is Corey with TRuAlternatives at LinkedIn, and then with Twitter is Corey at TRuAlternatives. So feel free to reach out to me at any way you choose to. Just love to hear your feedback about how this music has been blessing you, how the principles have been blessing you, and let me know maybe if you got a chance to go back and read the stories that I went over earlier in the call. Just give me your opinion about those stories. Just love to hear your feedback as far as that goes. So again, I'll end the call saying the same thing, is that I truly believe service to many leads to greatness. So if you have a question about how all these things work out as far as this webinar presentation, if you'd like to put something like that together, give me a call. If you'd like to put a presentation together, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you feel free to reach out to me, and I'll offer my services to you and see if we can help you out to make sure that we can move you closer to what your goal is. So my goal is, my position that I am a complete wellness consultant. So I consult with you, figure out what your needs are, and then we work to make sure that you are better, have a better quality of life. Exactly what we do. So it's been a pleasure talking to you. Look forward to hearing from you. Again, this is Corey Pritchard from TRuAlternatives.